Welcome back to another episode of War in Cali. In this episode, I'm going to talk about an incident called the North Hollywood Shootout. Two perpetrators were named Larry, who was born on September 20th, 1970, and Emilian, who was born on July 19th, 1966. The two men met in their adulthood in 1989 at Gold's Gym in Venice. They had mutual interests in weightlifting, bodybuilding, and firearms. Before meeting, Larry was a habitual offender, responsible for multiple real estate scams and counts of shoplifting. Emilian was a qualified electrician engineer and ran an unsuccessful computer repair business. On July 20th, 1993, Larry and Emil robbed an armored truck outside of a branch of a First Bank in Littleton, Colorado. On October 29th, they were arrested in Glendale, California for operating a stolen vehicle. Upon searching the vehicle, police found 2 rifles, 2 handguns, 1,600 rounds of ammunition, a radio scanner, body armor, and 3 different California plates. Initially, both were charged with conspiracy to commit robbery, but only served 100 days in jail and were placed on 3 years of probation due to a plea bargain after their release. On June 14th, 1995, Larry and Emil ambushed a Brinks armored truck in LA, shooting one armored guard, and seriously wounded another. In May of 1996, they robbed 2 branches of a Bank of America in San Fernando Valley, stealing approximately $1.5 million. On this, people started calling them the high-incident bandits from the weapons that they used in the robberies. February 28, 1997, after months of planning, they had plans to rob another bank. Larry and Emil drove a white 1987 Celebrity and arrived at the Bank of America branch in North Hollywood. As the two were walking in, they were spotted by 2 LAPD officers who requested backup. Emil opened fire in the ceiling, attempting to scare the approximately 30 people inside, including the bank staff and customers. Robbers forced the assistant manager to open the vault, which he did. He began to fill their money bags up. However, due to a money change, the vault contained significantly $750,000 less than they expected. Larry and Emil walked away with $300,000 and 3 dye packs, which later exploded, ruining all the money they stole. As Larry walked out, he noticed all the police cars, so he started opening fire. Larry wounded 6 officers, as well as 3 civilians. Larry also fired at LAPD helicopters. Larry then briefly retreated inside. Larry and Emil then came out and began to have a shootout with the police. But with Emil and Larry having so much firepower and having body armor, the police were outgunned and outpowered. This time, the police had fired over 86 shots. The 2 robbers then tried to escape. Emil shot multiple times, leading to him trying to get in the car and flee. Larry was still firing, but Emil drove away and left him. Larry was shot till he fell. After firing, officers stopped in the area and surrounded Larry and handcuffed him, removing his ski mask. Larry was later pronounced dead. Emil would get 3 blocks down from the bank. He would engage in a shootout with the car not working. He got out the car and he took cover. Emil engaged in a 2.5-minute shootout with the police, being shot several times, causing him to surrender. He would later die at the scene as well. It was said he was shot over 29 times in his leg. Larry, he was shot over 11 times. Most of the incident, including the death of Larry and the surrender of Emil, was broadcast live by news helicopters, which hovered over the scene and televised the action as it unfolded. Over 300 law enforcement officers responded to the scene. By the time of the shooting ended, they had fired over 1,100 rounds, approximately a round every 2 seconds. From this incident, 12 police officers and 8 civilians were injured, and the 2 suspects died in the shootout. Soon after, a lawsuit on the behalf of Emil's kids was filed against the members of the LAPD, claiming that Emil's civil rights had been violated and that he was allowed to bleed to death. This would end in a mistrial and was later dropped. The following year after the shootout, 18 officers of the LAPD received honors. In 2003, a film about the incident was produced, titled 44 Minutes, The North Hollywood Shootout. 2004, the Los Angeles Police Museum in Highland Park opened an exhibit featuring 2 life-size mannequins of Larry and Emil, fitted with similar armor and clothing they wore. This will conclude this episode. If you haven't already, make sure you check out my previous episodes. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.